Welcome to episode number 119 of The Closing Table with Lawyers Title. I'm your host, Tamera Gaede, and today we're going to talk about AI workflows that are helping agents win deals right after this.
Gather round the table, pull up a chair. Real talk, real growth, we're taking you there. From the first handshake to the final key. The wisdom you need to set your business free. It's the closing table with Lawyers Title Tamera Gaede. She's your main arrival. Yeah, Tamera Gaede makes the vision clear. With Lawyers Title, your best years here.
Welcome back to episode number 119. Again, I'm your host, Tamera Gaede, and I have a returning guest today. Very excited to talk to Jason Northcutt. He is the Texas land agent and team leader of North Realty Group, author of AI from the Field, and he's been in real estate for 23 years. So excited to talk to him today about real workflows and real land deals. We're going to get some real results today. So welcome back to the show, Jason.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was thinking after the first one, you're like, hell no, I'm not letting him back on.
No, you did really great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And you're a very good instructor. You've been teaching some classes about land and AI for me, and I'm very grateful that you're willing to do that because, you know, always get really great feedback on how you teach the class and the information that you share. You've been very much an open book with the people that I've brought to the table. So thank you so much for that.
Actually, thank you. I mean, you've given me an opportunity to have a platform to speak on, so it's appreciated.
No, we've got a circle of love today. So, okay, I want to jump right in.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of talk about AI today, and how it's helping your business. And I want to kind of transition into a land conversation too. So we're going to marry the two today. I want to start out by discussing what's the importance. Tell us the importance of building out your profile inside the various AI platforms before you start using them.
Well, it'd be kind of like telling your 3-year-old not to do something, but don't explain why, or your assistant, right? So you're not going to say, hey, Tamara, I need you to write me an email and have a good day.
That's a great way to put it.
Right? I mean, let's be honest. That's exactly what it is. So it's not just putting your name in your email. It's actually building out your voice. You know, as we speak today, how I speak, how I like to write, how I like to be pushed back. And so it doesn't matter if it's ChatGPT, it doesn't matter if it's Gemini, Claude, whatever. They have settings in there where you can actually customize and stylize your personal voice. So when you are asking ChatGPT to create an email for you to respond to an agent who had questions on XYZ, it can actually not mimic your voice, but it will actually sound more like you, and it doesn't sound like, you know, everybody loves the term AI slop. So
yeah, slop. I haven't heard that term before.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around for probably 6 to 8 months. It's because everything sounds so, you can usually spot, oh, that's AI written, right? Because the way it's structured, or it's very generic. And that's the biggest complaint. You don't have to sidestep, but, you know, we did a survey, and one of the biggest the complaint was they don't want it to sound so robotic. They don't like the way it sounds. Well, guess what? If you don't do the initial step of at least giving it the information of who you are, what you do, how you like to respond, it's just going to give you very generic responses.
And you have a particular process for setting this up. I just went in and fumbled around and looked at all the settings till I feel like I kind of got there. So I think your organizational method for setting up your profile is incredibly useful for people, because then you don't have to do the fumble around, and, you know, you're very precise about getting to the end, and you can move on and start working with the AI platform. So you guys need to get with Jason on some of these prompts and some of the setup that he has, because it's going to be really useful and help you shortcut things. So, okay. So this is a lot to unpack. Okay. I want to talk about the big workflow prompts that you've set up. You've kind of shared these in some of the closed door settings that we've been in. But we'll list them, and then I kind of want to backtrack and like have you kind of explain them or unpack them a little bit. The Land CMA, you told me about that one yesterday. Let's talk about that one. Will you explain its purpose and how it's helping you streamline your business?
Yeah. So originally, the biggest thing when we do CMAs, right, it doesn't matter if you're using strictly just MLS, you're doing a quick CMA, then you have to pencil everything out, or you're using like an RPR or whatever you're using, or Cloud CMA, right? As a land professional, it's not just you're in Stonebridge and you have 16 houses to pick from on 3 different streets, and they're all, they fit perfectly in that neat little box. Land, that's not the case.
Yeah.
So, when we would sit down and pencil out our comparative analysis for the market, right? With our investors, it's not just, it's 2-part, right? It's your individual seller, and we work with a lot of investors. So that's a 2 different type of CMAs. But the thing is it would take me 30, 40, 50 minutes, an hour plus to really pencil everything out. And the only reason why it takes so long is because you are going through so much more data than just your traditional 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,200 square foot house, right? Yeah. And so I was like, okay, there has to be a way. How can I make this streamlined and easier? It still takes a little bit of time, but how can we take all this information, put it into one, and I hate to say spit it out, but spit out what you're looking for.
You can use spit out. I think it's appropriate.
So, it probably took 2 or 3 days to really create the prompt. Probably altogether, about 4 to 6 hours worth of work, right?
Man.
And it was just because, and it's not because it was hard to do. It's because I'm meticulous. There's certain things that when it comes to, this being in real estate and being around so many realtors, is that you want to make certain, yes, it isn't just a comparative market analysis. It's just I can't say it, best guess, but this is what the value is, right? So you want to make certain that you're like, hey, I really need to be really close. And so when we created this, we wanted to make certain that it's taken all the data, it's through trials, we ran it through several iterations, but we designed it to where I can take all of the MLS data. I can take all the off-market data that we can collect through some of the services that we use, put it into this system, and then say, okay, now let's break down everything. And so it took a few days to do that, right? And it was through a lot of iterations. But basically what it does is I can take let me back up a little bit. Let me explain a little bit more about it. It's not just a prompt of like, hey, give me a CMA.
Sure.
So through that, we created several knowledge docs. We had to do research on the appropriate ways to do appraisals with certain, adjustments that need to be made. But then we actually took the 2024, which is the most recent one, what's called USPAP. It's the appraisals standard guidelines. We took all 10 chapters of appraisal standards and we put that into the ChatGPT. So when I do give it that information, it's actually pushing against actual documented guidelines, right? And so then I can take, let's say it's a 15-acre tract of land. I go back 5 miles. I go back a year. I take all that data, including the MLS sheets. I put all that into ChatGPT. I give it all of the data information, ask you a list of questions. And by the time you're done with it, it's pretty damn close.
I'm just sitting here like blown away because I feel like everything you did is going to allow you to input, ask for the same output over and over again. And how many hours do you think it is going to save you each time you have to do this for a property?
On any given month, I'm usually breaking down probably 10 to 15 different properties. So if by hand, if it's taking me 10, 15 hours of work, at least an hour per property, I can break that down to 20 minutes per property.
That is huge. That is huge. So you've already got this prompt built out. It sounds like it took you forever to build this thing. You said 4 to 6 hours worth of work, but probably. I feel like it's got more man hours into it. Sounds like a lot of heavy lifting, right? Your analysis.
Yeah. The thing is though, if you're willing to put a few hours work up front, it can save you so many more hours on the back end. If it's taking me 10 to 15 hours to do CMAs for 10 to 15 properties, and let's just say I cut that in half now, it goes from 15 hours to 7 hours worth of work over a course of a month. I have an additional 7 hours to go out and do other things.
That's right.
Build other relationships,
and that's
find
the
other
point
clients.
Of all of it, right? Yeah. Do you know the accuracy of it? Is it going to be accurate every time, or do you have to go back and double check? I know we always say, make sure that you check the work, right? You can't just hand it over and expect AI to be accurate 100% of the time.
Right.
So how much time do you spend double checking the work, and is the output accuracy rate high?
Yeah, so what we end up doing is once it computes everything, like in better terms, basically adds it all up, we sit down and go back through it, right? And that's why it takes 20, 30 minutes after.
Sure.
Is because then we sit down and go back, okay, let's just compare, make sure that we're still on track. It didn't hallucinate, create anything. It didn't make up some property that we didn't give it. And based on that, we've been pretty accurate on what we would recommend for listing prices. And a couple of real world examples is we actually flipped the script on this. It was built for land, but now we've rebuilt it for residential and land, depending on what scenario. And so what was 26? So two scenarios last year. One was mine and one was for a friend of mine who asked me to run it. We were on the buy side. We were on a contract for $304,000. Appraisal came in at $283,000. And I'm like, holy crap, right? So my buyer, I talked to my buyer. I said, hey, how
We got a
badly?
gap.
Right,
Yeah.
we have a gap, and the seller's not willing to come down. And the listing agent, to be frank with you, was kind of MIA. Didn't really provide us comps, like nothing to support the value that we had contract on. I asked my buyer. I said, hey, how bad do you want the house? He goes, I want it. I said, are you certain? Because I'm going to create, right now we can push to get lower, but I can redo all this and push to get it higher. He goes, push to get it higher. I said, okay.
Get the appraisal higher.
Get the appraisal, yeah. So get the appraisal.
Close the
up.
gap.
Right. So we took their appraisal, right, that they gave us, and then we went out and found the comps, which were pretty much similar to what the listing agent comps probably were. Took all that information. We actually put that into the prompt. We ran through a series, and we put together a reconsideration of value. We put the whole packet together. We gave it to the lender. Again, I'm a buyer's agent. I'm not listing. This is the listing agent said to be doing this.
Yeah.
We're on the buy side. Gave it to the lender. Lender called me 2 days later. He says, I got a direct call from the VA saying that's probably the best reconsideration of value they've ever seen. It went from $283,000 to $300,000.
Nice. So you closed the gap.
Yeah, we closed the gap.
Do you feel like your client had to overpay for the property?
No, I think honestly the appraisal was pretty bad. I mean, there were comparables in there where it gave it a great I forgot what it was, a C4, whatever the recently renovated in the last 12 months. It had a hole in the roof and a hole in the deck, and they gave it So there were some big things.
Well, that might be a little bit of a reconsideration.
Right. But now let's take it a step further. Someone who had a regular house, a regular neighborhood over in Allen, I reviewed the appraisal with them. I was like, man, there's a couple of things that are not big things, but little small things that like, hey, it's in a specific school zone. You're trying to appraise houses that are not in the same school zone. You're across from a green belt. So we took all that, we put that in, and we got them up $15,000. So we, when you talk about accuracy, I mean, it's going to be as accurate as we can be,
sure,
right? Because we're not appraisers,
yeah,
and so there's always going to be an error, margin of error,
yeah, margin of error. Okay,
but that's just one, a couple examples of just using that. And we do that with our investors too when they're trying to figure out, do we really want to buy this? And we want to buy, if we're wanting to buy it and subdivide it, then we do a full analysis. We're doing a full breakdown. So for us, with our investors, we're putting together a 5 to 10 page report showing them, hey, here's where you have some pros, here's your cons, here's your time frame. You make the decision if you're going to buy it and then subdivide it. And
got it.
They love it. So
I bet they do.
Really helped. So
I wonder, I mean, you always seem to me to be over prepared with your clients, which I love. I mean, I guess over prepared is probably not the right word. I love more information than not enough, right? And you're providing your clients with a proper analysis so they can make an educated decision. So I have a big appreciation for that, especially as an investor myself, right? Because I want to know that what I'm walking into is going to perform the way that I have it intended, correct? Otherwise, what are we doing here?
And, we talked about this the other day, and I know it's not on the list to talk about today, but I'm going to talk about it anyways.
Okay.
So is to your point as an investor, right?
Yeah.
For me, not all agents work with investors. I work with a lot of investors. And so investors, it's about money, right? At the end of the day, feelings aside, how much money am I going to make? Whether it's I'm going to buy and flip, buy, hold, and rent, right? So we built a ChatGPT out that can do a subdivision analysis from the sell side and the lease side, showing you the patterns over a 12-month period. So you can be comfortable, hey, if I buy this house to rent it, what is my pattern? What am I expecting to look at per month? How long is it going to take me to get this listed, et cetera? Same thing on the sell side.
Wait, say that again. Say it again.
What part?
The analysis part. You started explain that again. That last part.
So the analysis of anytime you want, for example, when you buy and hold, right? Buy, hold, to lease.
Sure.
Right. And so when we are working with investors wanting to buy a house, like Tamara, you came and said, "Hey, Jason, I want to buy a house in Wind Farm or whatever."
That would Windsong or Light Farms?
Light Farms, sorry.
Did you put them together?
I put them together. There we go. Hey, new subdivision.
We got there.
New subdivision. And you said, hey, Jason, I want to buy this house. Can you do an analysis for me? So we would take all that data from the last 12 months of data for leases, for example. We put that into the ChatGPT and do an analysis. And we look for patterns. We're looking for, did the house get sold, then leased right away? Did it get bought and it took several months to lease. What is the average lease prices per the square foot? Was there any, was there a house that got leased and then got leased again 6 months later? So we're looking for those patterns. So that way you can make that best, making that best decision on if you want to buy it or not.
It's really good.
So
it's really good.
And then for the investors like yourself, we're also going to be basically looking at cap rate, right? What is your return going to be, right? Are you going to make a couple bucks a month and it's just going to cover your mortgage, which is fine because you're going to get a 5 to 6% increase year over year for home value. But then it also means your taxes go up. That means your lease rent has to go up. So we look at all that.
You include a certain amount for repairs and all of that kind of. Wow.
And so
I really like that a lot. How fast can do you just plug in an address and quick parameters and it spits it out, or how long does it take you to tee that up with the prompt?
So I do my initial analysis. I will go into MLS. I pull 12 months of data. I take all those MLS sheets, download them, I upload them to ChatGPT, and then within 10 minutes, typically.
Nice.
Now, of course, I'm tweaking it. Again, it's human in the loop. You want to make certain that what you're presenting is accurate, right? But it doesn't take that long. So
interesting.
So
I'm making a
she's
note.
making notes.
Yeah. Investor prompt. We need to talk more about that offline. Okay. I want to shift. I really like Bob the Listing Builder, and I like the last one too. I like them all.
Yeah.
Building out a CMA analysis prompt is huge. Okay. So, but I want to pivot to Bob the Listing Builder. You got to get a name for the other ones.
I have I come up with odd names right now. This Land CMA is just Land CMA. But
okay.
Yeah, Bob the Builder. I was like, it was like real estate Bob. Everybody knows who Bob the Builder is. I was like, why not just call Bob the Builder?
Bob the Listing. You said Listing Builder.
Oh,
is it Bob the Builder or Bob the Listing Builder?
Bob the Listing Builder.
Right.
Yeah. So
how do I know the name? Anyway, let's
because you've heard me talk about it a few times. So.
Let's talk about Bob.
Yeah.
Tell us about Bob.
So Bob is silly. It's just something that, not to divulge everything, but, we had a great mastermind last month, right? And we talked about, like, there are agents that love to write listing descriptions. I don't.
What?
I don't.
I think Jesse's shaking his head too.
Right? I mean, I will write them, but I come back from 13 years of photojournalism and broadcast journalism. I'm used to writing, but there's certain times I'm like, I don't want to deal with this.
The romances I see in MLS, I'm like, I could never.
So with that came up, I'm like, okay, I hate writing listing descriptions. So I was like, how can I? Originally, it was just, hey, help me write a listing description.
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, cool, right? That's what everybody does. But then I was like, okay, let's take it a step further. So within the listing description, Bob the Builder, it builds a listing description. Wow, that's exciting, right? It helps you build a listing description. But we took it a step further in, I always joke, AEO, GEO, AIO, EIEO. It's not
I know.
It's not a song.
Oh my
it's
God.
not that good old song with kids. But, with AI coming into play, we're like, okay, the listing can't be just this beautiful 3-bedroom, 4-bath house sitting on this lush green, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, okay, whatever. So, with the invention of AI and how more incorporated it is, I think there's a stat I think you threw out there. I think 60.
Oh yeah, 1,000 watt. Do y'all know that publication?
I use it a lot.
Watt? You do know 1,000 watt.
Yeah.
Okay, I like their publication. If you're not subscribed to 1,000 watt, it's a really good publication.
Yeah.
Anyway, they came out with a stat that said 61% of consumers are using AI to find and vet agents.
Yeah. So
what?
Yeah. So
that's a lot.
The reason I bring that up is going back to Bob the Builder. It's like, okay, well, we can't just do a listing description. It needs to be a listing description of, hey, it's 10 minutes from the Frisco PGA headquarters. It's 12 minutes from the new Universal Studio Kids theme park. It's creating, because that's how AI searches. It's when you look for, hey, I need a house that's 10 minutes from DFW Airport. If it's not in the description, it's not going to be found by AI. So,
golden nugget, y'all.
Right. So there's the way, we kind of started redoing our listing descriptions, as I call it, matching Zillow, which I know Zillow's everybody's, that's a whole different. But so listing builder, we reformatted it to that. But then we took it a step further. Okay. So now it's not just a listing description. It's creating your Facebook post. It's creating your Instagram post. It's creating your email campaign. It's creating an ad, Facebook ad, if you want to go to a Facebook ad. And basically it's, you put in the address, tell it to search everything that's around it within, all the major attractions around it. You gave it all the information. If you have the MLS sheet already, give it the MLS sheet. If not, that's fine. And then give it up to 10 pictures. And then it will create everything you want.
Did y'all hear that? Oh my gosh. I mean, look, I'm using it. I'll pump in a class flyer and say, hey, I need an email blast post. I need a social media post. I do the same thing, right? So, and the output is incredible. Like it's quick, bulleted, creates urgency, you know, all of the things that you need to hit on and things that you forget to do as a human, right? If you have 3 paragraphs of words, like your face starts to melt off when you have to read all of that, right? Because you're searching through all of the descriptive words to get to the meat of what that house really looks like, right? And I understand the intention of putting in all of those descriptive, you know, the beautiful landscape, rolling landscape and la la la. But I want to see how like what the schools are like, what's close to it. You know what I mean? And so the things that you're talking about, the things that I want to know about as a buyer, I don't know about the rest of the buyers in the world. I'm just talking about me as a buyer. But that output is, it will draw people to the property. Well, yeah, I mean,
don't get me wrong. I mean, I joke about this all the time in the land. You've heard me say this, I don't know how many times over the last few years.
Oh, some of the land MLS is terrible. It's terrible.
Pardon my French, if you beep it out, it's fine. You not. There is a $22 million listing on the market that has cell phone photos.
Okay, I think you told me about this. And Jesse is going like this.
and I'm like, holy shit. So the reason I'm going out with this is this. You could have the listing description. It's beautiful, lush green, blah, blah, blah. Well, your picture should show that. Like, come on. I can look at the picture and say, look, okay, it looks great. To your point, when you're looking at the description, you're looking for the meat. Hey, how far is it from the closest grocery store? How far is it from amenities? How far is it from downtown Dallas? How far is it from DFW Airport? Those are things that a lot of buyers, that's important to them, right? Especially if they're a young family. I'm sorry, that's a fair housing. I shouldn't say that, but you know what I'm saying. But
be careful.
Yeah, I know, right? So it creates the description, right? Then it creates the advertising pieces of it. But in the backside of Bob the Builder, we have what's called a knowledge base. So when it creates a Facebook post, it's pushing against the Facebook FAQs and best practices. So it's creating a post based on Facebook's parameters. Same thing with Instagram.
So
same thing
get
with LinkedIn.
Rejected. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that way,
Facebook police won't get you.
Right. And so that's Bob the Builder. You know,
I love that thing. I love Bob Builder.
Have you? I know I sent the link out to a few people. I don't know if you've ever played with it yet or not.
I haven't played with it. I need title rep prompts.
Well, I mean, you tell me what you need, I'll create it for you.
Oh, okay. Golden nugget for me today.
So.
Okay. The investor prompt is one I want to hear about some more. But okay. So we talked about Land CMA and we talked about Bob, the listing builder. This is another one I really like a lot. So the analysis of inspection reports.
Yeah.
Super cool because Stacy Leslie, who's in our mastermind group.
Isn't that who I built it for, right?
Huh?
Is that who I built it for?
I think so. Okay. Because she was the one that went to EXPCon and heard, I think it was Go-Go, what's her name? She's like really big
Beth
in
Key.
XP.
Go-Go Beth Key or something like that.
I think it was her. I don't know. Whoever it was. Maybe it was. No, I think it was a gentleman. Got up on stage. It doesn't matter. Got up on stage and talked about a prompt that would analyze an inspection report, give you the key points at the bottom, and then even go so far as to recommend contractors in the area.
Right.
And if you didn't know anyone, I would want that. So I'm assuming it's basically the same thing.
So actually,
but more.
But wait, there's more. Okay, so the not funny thing is we built this on a mastermind call last week. That's when it was built. That was the first time it was ever built.
I didn't realize that you were building it while
we're actually doing that.
See, you guys need to be heads up. Jason and I are going to be putting on, well, Jason's going to talk. I'm going to host classes for some of these things that we're talking about. So make sure you're watching my social media posts. And if you're on my email distribution list, we're about to punt to text. So we're going to have some exciting classes coming up that are going to help you break down these exact things. So,
but no, we were on the mastermind call because I told, in our group, I said, hey, let's jump on a call. I'll show you how to go a little bit deeper into some of this. And someone has, I was like, hey, what is a prompt that we can create right now? Because we actually have a prompt that helps create prompts. It takes your brain, what you want, and it helps you build it. And so it's like someone said, hey, let's build one for inspection reports. I said, okay, well, let's do it. And so by the time we were done, we built out pretty much a full functioning inspection report analyzer. So we took one of my old inspection reports, added it in, And basically it spits out from top to bottom. Extremely important. And the weekend, what I always call the honeydew Saturday list, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I
Right.
like that.
So it's analyzing everything that the inspector put on there. And then it not only just breaks that down into easier to read chunks, right? It's also giving you, okay, hey, the HVAC system's not working. You need to have this done, have this done, have this done, right?
While you're in the option period,
right,
like
right, in the option
additional
period.
contractors you need out.
So it breaks it down into severity. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? So for the most severe to the least severe, right? Like these, you need to get it fixed. To,
yeah.
work on it on the weekend.
Well, and it always calls out like code upgrades,
Right.
and we're not doing that. You know what I mean?
But the nice thing is, by the way we built it was also designed so that you can then say, "Hey, will you give me how should I present this to the buyer? How should I present this to the listing agent?" And it gives you basically the text, the email that you would write for the buyer, email you'd write for the
Ooh, even better. You don't even have to craft the email.
Right, to the listing
everything.
to the listing agent. But then we also put in there to make recommendations on what the repair costs could be.
Yes.
But as I said last
gotta
time,
double check
you have to
that,
double.
yeah.
That's something that I always err on the cautious side, right? Because
and
everybody's so
also-
litigious right now.
Yeah,
So-
and to your point, if you were to put a contractor recommendation and estimate a price, you need to pick up the phone and call that contractor. Now, I know what their answer is probably going to be, we got to come out and look at it, man.
Right.
But, and so the price thing kind of is for me, but the contractor recommendation is awesome.
Yeah, and like I said, we built that in probably about 30, 40 minutes. We were on a call for the hour, but within about 30, 40 minutes, we built that whole thing out.
What's its accuracy? You just built it, so you probably haven't run a lot of test cases on it, but
We haven't run test cases on it for estimated costs, but again, it's going by exactly that inspection report. So there's really no malfeasance. It's not going to misinterpret because it's looking at the actual inspection report.
I get that.
But again, you still want to look at it, make sure everything is accurate. But for me, you're trying to digest a 40-page report. It makes life a little bit easier. So.
Okay, so I want to pivot, and I kind of touched on that we're going to be doing some classes together. I'm really excited about that. Let's talk about the classes and the coaching you've developed. We've got Land 101. I know you're working on an extended land class, so 102, 103, I think is what we talked about. I don't know, however far it's going to go. And then we've got the AI from the field, so the AI classes and coaching. Why don't you kind of talk about that a little bit? Because I know you're developing all of this and rolling it out.
Yeah, most definitely. So let's go backwards and forwards. So land is real estate is my life. I'm a realtor first and foremost, right?
Yep.
So my drive, my passion is land, right? We do residential, we do leases, but come on. I'm the land.
Oh, no, you still have to do it all.
Right.
Yeah, but you're the land guy.
But, so that is always our main focus. And so what we started this over a year ago. We kind of took off last year, rebuilding a lot of stuff. But the fact that we had 60 people show up on one class, and then with your class, we had another, 40, 50 people show up with the class that we did together.
We're doing curated.
Right now,
the
we're doing
AI stuff is curated
Right.
for the mastermind group
Right.
because they're special. But
Exactly.
We're going to roll it out
But
to
on the-
everybody. But on the land class, you got a huge attendance when you did that last year.
So to me, it does show to us that there is a need for that education. There's nothing really out there. There are some land classes here and there, but nothing like land.
Yeah.
And so we did land 101, which is the very basics. Now, what we want to do is go into a land 102, 103, and more, and then if someone wanted to have a class on how to subdivide and what it takes on that. Advanced land. But we're taking it a step further because it's one thing to attend a class just to get knowledge. It's one thing to get a class and get CE credit, right? So you come to class, you're actually getting educated and you're actually getting a credit for it, right? So that's definitely to me is a win-win. And so that's kind of what we're doing on the land side is just taking everything that I've learned since 2017, 9 years, and trying to take that and give that back to agents because land, I always say this, is not just dirt and agents F it up most of the time.
It's a completely different animal.
Yeah.
You need to know how to walk into it appropriately as a realtor.
Right.
Well, and title is what. All of it.
You've seen
Yeah.
some of the stuff we've had to go back and fix on some stuff. I mean, with a house, you have a list of 20 things to do. With land, you may have a list of 60 things to do.
Yes.
Right? And it's not your average things that you're doing. It's doing research with the Railroad Commission to figure out where the pipelines are and who the pipeline owners are, and if it's a high pressure liquid gas or if it's a petroleum or if it's
That
a
would
natural
make
gas.
my face melt off.
Right. So these are
do
things that people don't think about. So
I need a prompt.
So
Give me a prompt.
she just went, whatever he just said, right? So, but that's where we're trying to take, impart the wisdom that I've learned, that I'm continuing to learn because I learn every single day, is give that back to the agents, right?
Yeah, you're amazing. You're a really good instructor and really good at breaking it down.
But then we also so now let's shift over to AI, right? It's like, okay, Jason, well, now all of a sudden you're teaching AI. Well, no, I've actually been studying AI since March of 2023. I've just been quietly doing it. I've been diving in and building systems. Over the last 3 years, I've learned every day. I learn. I mean, I'm reading on this stuff every single day, every morning. I have updates sent to me every day. I'm skimming through them. And so over the last, what month is this? March. I probably say
March 3rd.
I would probably say AI from the field crept into my mind probably about summerish of last year. Like, and the reason why is, this is where I always piss people off. We
can be a little controversial.
I got tired of all the bullshit I keep seeing out there.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of it.
So there are some great coaches out there. I love them to death, but now all of a sudden they're AI coaches and they don't even know what GPT stands for. Do you know what GPT stands for?
Yes. But I'll tell you later.
No, it's okay. I wouldn't expect it.
I don't know. I forgot.
So GPT stands for generative pre-trained transmission.
Yeah, transmission.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Or
Never
translation. Anyways, I always forget the T.
Wait, if you don't know, why are you asking me if I know? That's not fair.
I know. It's generative. It's generative pre-trained. Yeah, transmission. Anyways,
is it transmission?
You make me get my phone and look. Anyways,
Jesse.
So
what does GPT stand?
So basically, what it is you think of a librarian, takes all the information you give it, and then takes all that information, compiles it, and the one gives you the best answer. That's what GPT. Anyway, where I'm going at this is you have all these coaches out there that have never done AI before. All of a sudden, they didn't even know how to spell AI 6 months ago. And now all of a sudden they're AI coaches, and I see some of the stuff that they're putting out there.
Transformer, pre-trained transformer.
Sorry, transmission, transformer.
I don't feel so bad anymore.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't know. I might have read that at the very beginning and then with GPT.
And so there's that piece of it, right? I keep seeing agents being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
With the shiny object, and we're realtors. We all get shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
It's like whatever the newest greatest thing is. But then
this is different.
Right. But then I'd also see these coaches preaching stuff that was technology from 2024, and we're in 2025. Like ChatGPT 3.0 is not a real thing. It was. We're on ChatGPT 5.2, but your training material is speaking to stuff that was 3 years ago. So that's kind of where AI from the field came from. And so originally I was like, I just want to give back. So, but on the same side, I gotta make money. So for time, right?
It's a lot of time that you're putting into this stuff.
So what I decided to do is from AI from the field we have a coaching that we're starting tomorrow. It's $50 a month. It's 1 hour a week where we actually sit down and we talk for that hour. And it's not just BS talking. It's, hey, what are you needing help with? What is some of the production that you need? What are some of the things you're running into? Let me show you. But it's also me showing them, hey, here's how you create a prompt in the next 40 minutes, how to analyze an inspection report, right? Then we're also taking it a little step further. I am going to try to bring in other industry experts. Like we're going to bring in an SEO expert that is local in Texas that can show them how to use AI to help them with their SEO.
Well, because they tie in together.
Right,
so
they do.
You have to do both.
So, we're trying to bring that to at a fair cost to agents, right? I mean, $50 a month is not much. And then we also guarantee, like, if after the first month you're in, you don't like it, I'll refund your money. And the second thing we do, we take 10% of all proceeds and give it to charity.
See, I love that.
So
your wife fosters,
yes.
well, you,
yeah.
Y'all foster dogs. I love that too.
My wife goes here, I'm like, okay. What do you need help with? Okay. So that's AI from the field. And then I just decided to do the coaching starting in December. And tomorrow's our first one. And hopefully it goes well because I'm really nervous.
But tomorrow at what time?
11 o'clock. Invite only. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, I want to check it out.
And the thing is,
I can be an advocate. So.
And the biggest thing for me is this imposter syndrome. because there's so many of these fake gurus out there. I'm like, I just don't want anybody to ever think I'm a fake guru. Like, I've actually gone through certifications. Like, I've sat down and do generative AI for veterans through Google. I have several Google certifications. I have IBM certifications just for AI. Now, of course, they're paid, right? But this is money out of my pocket that I pay for.
No, for sure.
To learn it.
The
And
manual you created is
those
staggering.
They're like 90-something pages long. But
Yeah, didn't you say it's like 267,000 words? I was like, wah, wah.
yeah, it's a long one. So
Copy paste.
and to your point, Tamara, you go, you made that for yourself, didn't you? I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
you did make that for yourself.
Maybe.
Because nobody else is going to read it.
Maybe.
Maybe Jesse or Chris Oleg. Chris
Chris would read it. Oleg would read it. So.
Oh, Jesse would put it in AI and have it bullet out the highlights.
And actually, Jesse, what you do is you upload it to Notebook LM and then have it break it all down for you. And
all right,
create
nerd alert.
graphs.
Anyway, okay.
So, yeah.
Well, we're gonna put your contact. We're gonna tag you and collaborate with you on social media so everybody can reach out to you so that they can participate in your coaching program. Again, the first episode. Oh wait, this is gonna air after the.
Yeah, but the coaching itself is private. It's small group, 50. It's a cohort basically. It's maxed out at 50 people.
I think it's awesome. I'm excited about it. I want to be a little, fly on the wall. Yeah. Well, Jason, thank you so much for being on the show today. You are just such a wealth of information, and your desire to be open and share is really important in this industry because, eventually people will get there, but you're helping shortcut things for people. And I really appreciate that. And I'm going to get with you on the investor prompt too, because that sounds really exciting. Anyway.
I always try to give more than I take.
Well, you're a good dude. So if you guys don't know Jason Northcutt, you definitely need to connect with him on social media. And that's a wrap on episode number 119. Again, I'm your host, Tamera Gaede. If you like my content, you're really going to love my escrow team. So give me an opportunity to talk to you about your title needs and make it a great day.
Gather round the table.